Good afternoon, Aggies. The volleyball team earned 2 crucial victories in their push for the playoffs. I'm Jacob Russell.
And I'm Michael Faget. That story and news on the cross-country team and the Armchair Aggies are up next. It's time to go in the huddle. The volleyball team bounced back from a 3-match losing streak with a 2-match winning streak. They defeated Texas Women's University in 3 sets and then beat Texas A&M Commerce in 5 sets. Sophomore outside hitter Nikki Abbott was an offensive juggernaut off the bench in both games. She led the team with 29 kills in 2 matches. The team improved their record to 16-11, 4-7 now in conference play. The home match against Commerce ended their home schedule. They head on the road to face UCO and Southwestern Oklahoma State this week to close out the season.
5 seniors on the volleyball team said goodbye to both the Aggie Gym and fans last Saturday. Laura Ellerbrock, Lindsay Pazuk, Lindsay Carroll, Sydney Stewart, and Jalea Jansen played their final home matches as Aggies against Texas A&M Commerce. With a much-needed victory against the Lions, the seniors closed out their last game in the Aggie Gym in a winning style. In the Huddle congratulates those players on successful careers and wishes them well in their future endeavors.
Women's basketball season starts in full swing this week. They face the University of Tulsa on the 7th. With 11 new players on the roster, the matchup against D1 talent should help them prep for conference play. And the Huddle wishes head coach Tom Webb and the team good luck on this season.
The cross-country team heads to Abilene, Texas to compete in the NCAA Regional Championships on the 7th. After coming off of a record-setting performance at the LSC Championships, the team goes into regionals with one of the strongest teams in Cameron history. In the Huddle bids the team good luck at regionals.
Senior Josh Stewart was named Aggie of the Week last week. Stewart won the award after a record-setting run at the LSC Championships. He finished 8th and was named to the All-Conference team for the 4th time in his career. To watch an interview with Stewart, log on to goaggies.cameron.edu and click on the Aggie of the Week link. And the Huddle congratulates Josh Stewart on being named Aggie of the Week.
Being a student athlete is hard, especially when taking criticism for how you play on the court. A few students at Cameron decided to show how talented and how difficult it is to be a student athlete. These students are better known as the Armchair Aggies.
When it comes to Division II athletics, there is a common misconception that always gets thrown around. The athletes are just not that good. The sports staff for the Collegian, Cameron's very own newspaper, has taken it upon themselves to get the word out that, hey, these kids can play. Senior sports editor Bennett Dwan explains his thoughts behind getting the Armchair Aggies experiment underway.
Just trying to get some of the word out, but also to show that not everybody can do this. You know, these athletes are legitimate, deserve their scholarships, and are just really talented. You know, it shows the level that they're on.
For the first installment, Dewan had the opportunity to take on our regionally ranked volleyball team, backing up the theory that our athletes can play.
These girls were flying all over the place. If you notice from the footage, I didn't return a single spike. The only reason that I was even able to stand on the court is because the 3 other girls on my team were covering for me in almost every aspect.
Dewan did not go at this competition cold turkey. He received help from the coaches and worked hard to prove himself on the court.
Coach Sean, the assistant coach, helped me out. She showed me technique, positioning on the court, and things like that.
Although he was not able to make an impact, Dewan did learn more about the chemistry on the team and why they are able to play on the collegiate level.
Camaraderie up close, you know, they've got little chants for every score and every ace and stuff, and they're genuinely excited about playing volleyball, and you don't really see that.
Stay tuned for another installment of Armchair Aggies. For more video and interviews of the volleyball portion, check goaggies.cameron.edu. With CU TV News, I'm Jacob Russell.
Now, Jake, you're part of the Armchair Aggies. How did that concept of having some students play with student athletes to see how they go about their season routine?
Really, it's not for the typical reason of seeing if we can hang with them. It's more of a fact of going in knowing we're probably not going to be able to, but really kind of just proving how exceptional the athletes here at Cameron really are. Because they kind of gotten a bad rap, especially people who are from Lawton, that think it's merely a step above high school, and it's really not at all. Like, if you've gone to any of the events, you can tell, like, we've got some pretty good athletes on this campus.
Now, we started out with volleyball there with Bennett. Tennis coming up, also basketball in a couple of weeks. How do you see panning out for the Armchair Aggies?
Tennis could get interesting. It's probably going to be me, Bennett Dewan, and then luckily we have Simon Sammy on our team, who was a 4-year player here at Cameron. So he's going to come in when the spots get a little bit rough and make it not appear to be as devastating a loss as it could have been. So that should be all right. And then, of course, the women's basketball, I think we're actually going to pick you up for that team and a few other people. I know Kyle Lueders is also going to be on that team, who does some CU TV programming. So it should be interesting. That one might be the most fun matchup-wise. That won't be very much bigger than us, just way more skilled. So we'll see how that all pans out. So.
Let's shift gears for a minute. Volleyball, they picked up 2 crucial wins against Texas Women's and Texas A&M Commerce, now 4-7 in conference. What are their playoff chances looking like?
Well, their playoff chances are still alive. I had a chance to sit down with Coach Brian Smedley last week, and she said she didn't know the mathematics of it all, but she knows if they take care of business, they can still end up where they want to be at the end of the season, which is in the Lone Star Conference playoffs.
Couple of tough road matches. We'll see how that pans out. Basketball season's coming up this week. Women start first against the University of Tulsa. Men start the week after against North Texas and some other teams. How are you liking the basketball seasons this year?
I think basketball is going to be very aggressive on the defensive end and very capable of scoring on the offensive end for both the men and the women. They're both athletic, and they've still got to prove the hype. They've still got to live up to it. They've got to go out there and kind of gel as a team and use that team chemistry to get better each and every day in practice and also games. So I think the potential's there. We just need to see them take care of business on the court, and I think they will.
And speaking about on the court, let's take a look at what's happening this week in sports. It's another short week for sports. The volleyball team travels to Edmond to play UCO on the 5th. Cross country heads to Abilene to compete in the NCAA D2 Regionals on November 7th. Women's basketball heads up north to Tulsa in an exhibition game against the University of Tulsa on the 7th. And volleyball finishes the week by playing against Southwestern Oklahoma State on that same day. A little bit more going on this week in sports. Volleyball closing out the season, basketball starting, cross country heading to regionals. A lot of stuff going on.
There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of chances to go out and support your Aggies, which is something we've been doing a tremendous job of as a student body and also faculty and administration. It's been a great buzz, and I think a lot of great things still to come.
Also, you talk about supporting the Aggies. We had one former Aggie turned pro this week.
Yeah, we actually had a former outfielder, Josh Barnett, signed a major league contract to play in a smaller league, but still in a farm system. I'm not exactly sure of the particulars as far as which team. I'm actually going to talk to him as soon as we wrap up the show. So I'll be able to update more of that next week.
All right. Congratulations to Josh Barnett.
Definitely congratulations.
It's good to see Cameron Aggies expanding out this year. That closes out another episode of In the Huddle. To watch this episode and other CU TV programs, go to youtube.com and type in CU Internet TV with no spaces. You will also find the latest episodes of This Week in SGA and Top of the Hour.
For more stats and features, check out the Cameron Athletic website, goaggies.cameron.edu. Find out what's happening in Aggie sports.
We want to give a special thanks to Craig Martin for his help in making In the Huddle the show for Cameron sports.
We also want to thank the CU TV crew for their help in making this show possible. So, for everyone here in the CU TV studio, I'm Jacob Russell.
And I'm Michael Faget. We'll see you in the Huddle.